at the Tony Elimeli Foundation. As you all know, it's the leading philanthropy empowering young women like you and men across all 54 countries on the continent. My role here is very straightforward. I'm here to introduce our founder, but before then, to just share a little bit of ground rules. This is an informal session, so please feel free, be interactive, ask Tilly any questions, but we must be polite at all times. Before you ask your question, you raise your hand and then you introduce yourself. What's your name? What do you do? Where are you from? Very straightforward, just one sentence. We don't want to take too much time. We have other young women like you who are joining us on Zoom. If you look to your right, yes. And also in front of you, you see women like you from across the entire continent. Again, let's just be polite, respectful, keep it short, keep it brief. Without much further ado, I'd like to welcome our very own chairman and founder, Mr. Tony Elimeli.
Good afternoon and happy International Women's
Thank you.
Women's Day. Good to see all of you. Majority of the faces I don't know yet, but they say the journey of 1 mile starts one step. So I think this is the beginning of us knowing ourselves. So good to see all of you and welcome to this session. I look forward to this. I actually came back this morning because of this session. I was supposed to. I was in London yesterday. I was supposed to start my American Caribbean trip, but I decided to come back to spend this special day, moment with all of you. So it's very good to see young African women, prosperous. You all look very prosperous. You all look very prosperous African women on a day like this. So what I want us to do, like next 2 hours, and after 2 hours we also have coffee to interact further, is to get to interact. It's not every time that we all stay like this. So today that we have this opportunity to stay like this and to commemorate this great day, I thought we should all chat and have you tear me apart, ask me questions, be very free to anything, no holds barred session, business ideas, leadership issues, nuggets you want to share with me, even advice you want to give me, and other entrepreneurs on the continent, please feel free to do so. No holds barred, as I said earlier, just say it and let's talk. To me, I've often said that the future of our continent belongs to you and the men who are not here, for the youth of Africa. And so when I have moments and opportunities like this, I like to learn also from you guys, as well as share little experience that I have. In process, I believe we'll be able to support one another and commence in a strong way the journey to Africa's empowerment, prosperity, poverty alleviation, and job creation. And most importantly, women inclusiveness in everything we do. So congratulations to our women. And let's get started. And then during the cocktail, we'll have time to interact more. But let's start now and spend like the next two hours. And I want to also congratulate you because the selection process was tough. But so many people applied for the thousands, hundreds, and but you were selected and on merit. I did not select or recommend anyone. It's all totally on merit, and so you're all great people. So let's get started and congrats again. I'll take like three questions, then comments. Yes? If you use the microphone so those who are not with us can hear you well, your name as Somali said. for you.
Hello. Hello everyone. First of all, I want to say I'm super excited to be here. My name is Arinze Chinazom. I'm the founder of Autogirl NG. Autogirl NG is basically a novel car rental platform that also has educational content for people to help them save and earn more through their vehicles. Simple. So my question for you,
Save and earn more.
Yes, save and earn more through their vehicles. So
you're doing advanced more banking.
See, I like that we are aligning now. because yes, I feel like, but that's good. I feel like you'll be a good part. You'll be a fundamental part in this business. But let's get to the question first.
This lady is not here.
Yes, sir. So the question, I learned that you grew UBA from a single country bank in 5 years to the multinational it is right now. And I honestly want to know, how do I do that for Autogirl? What were the strategies you implemented to grow it to that level of growth in just 5 years? Thank you.
So first is the evolution of UBA is still in process. So it's a journey in eternity. First 100 years is just like starting point. So it's not really like 5 years that we did this. So we've been quite ambitious. So I'll take you through briefly the story, and you wait for the memoir that is coming. Just book for the book now. So we took, guys, this is big point. We took. So they started when we took over a distressed bank. Took over a distressed bank, and in record time, we turned around the distressed bank, and we grew it to the 5th largest bank in Nigeria at the time. We took over a distressed bank, we had over 127, 130 banks in the Nigerian banking system on Nigerian economy. We took over a distressed bank, we turned it around, and grew it, and it became the 5th largest bank in the country by profitability and by asset base. And then we orchestrated the merger of the United Bank for Africa and Standard Trust Bank, which was the bank we took over. And that was how we created today's UBA, the Pan-African Bank that serves over 25 million customers, both in Nigeria and other African countries. The internationalization program or Pan-African expansion program for UBA started in 2007. And yes, we rapidly orchestrated and executed that expansion. To what it is today. Today, it operates in 20 countries across Africa. It's in London, operates in London as a licensed bank. We are the only African bank with money deposit taking license in the United States of America. And we also have presence in Paris, and just recently, we have gotten approval in principle to operate in UAE, in Dubai. So that's why I say that the journey is not like it's ongoing. We want to do a lot more. UBA will say we're Africa's global bank. We want to take Africa to the globe, to the world, and bring the world to Africa. So it's a long journey, Now, what helped us to get there? So first was the acquisition, the transformation of the acquired institution, and progressing it to the level where we merged UBA, and now integrating successfully in a record time and growing aggressively across Africa and serving the number of customers we serve today. First is you having your ideas as you already have, and not just that you have ideas, you actually execute implementing your ideas. So let the vision be quite clear to you, and put milestones that will take you there. So that as you accomplish each milestone, you know you tick then this has been done. We move to the second one. And I tell you, when we acquired the distressed bank, first we created what we call a 3-tier strategic intent. In our group, that's how we operate. You know, we try to create, let's say, horizon, what we want to do, let's break it down. And so the 3-tier strategic intent was said, first tier, since this is a distressed bank, let's make it to become let's distress bank. Let's make it to become a viable financial institution where people like you can come and put money. And I'm sure when you were in university, you might have bank with Standard Trust Bank at the time because it's a very popular bank in Nigeria. Let me ask, who, for those from Nigeria who are in this room, who didn't have account or who had account at Standard Trust Bank when you were in university? Standard Trust Bank when you were in university. Yeah, so okay, you can see the lady that came, no, Gen Z that came later. Anyway, so we created first, make it viable so that people can go bank, have confidence in it. 2, take it, make it to become one of the top 10 banks in the country. And 3, make it to become one of the top 3 banks in the country. I'll put time frame. So the 10th year we said we want to become one of the top 3. But we achieved that in 7, 8 years. And the 8th year we already achieved that. So that is number one thing I think we need to do. So I said, this is what I want to do, put time frame, and then start the journey. The reason is good to have milestones is, so imagine today what we are. If we started and said we just want to do this, it can be daunting, it can be scary at times. And you don't know if you're making progress on that journey. But if you put it small, little, you do this. So when you do that, it accomplishes that stage, it encourages you. It puts big strain on your soul. You think you can walk on water. You want to because you've accomplished something on that journey. Then you do a second one, you accomplish, you do a third one. The moment we turn Standard Trust Bank, maybe a viable bank, we're become more optimistic, more confident that the full journey will be accomplished. And then when we made one of top, achieved one of top 10 banks, we said, okay, let's try to shoot for one of top 3. And that's what I thought. And the journey or the first 2, because one of the top 3 was what made us think of combining with United Bank of Africa so we can achieve that size. So that is extremely, extremely important. Now, if you look at what I said, so we had dream, but we didn't just stop there. We were working, okay? And to achieve that, you assemble the right team, the right people. People extremely, extremely, extremely important. So you assemble the right team, you share your vision with your team, and you make almost everyone buy into it. And on people's side, so many things. They have to buy into it, they have to believe in it, they have to be disciplined, they have to be hardworking, they have to imbibe the culture you want to have, that DNA that will help you get to that destination is so critical. If you don't have it, you can't go far. So it's important that you share your vision, the culture you want, and not just sharing the culture, you have to live it. You have to make sure everyone buys into it. And then, and for you guys, young entrepreneurs, young business leaders, the biggest challenge is, the people you assemble to work with you, I won't say for you, to work with you, also belong to your generation, young people. So how do you manage them in a way that they are happy working with you, don't feel like they work with you because they don't have any option? Is little courtesies, respect, discipline. Second, the way you guys relate and work, you let people know, my colleagues are my friends, but we also know where we draw the line. So you let people know, just be free with people. Some people choose the option, approach of trying to stand tall, so people will respect you. No, that does not guarantee respect. What guarantees respect? People will voluntarily on their own decide that we like this guy, we like this lady, we like what she like, and they will give you that respect beyond what you can imagine. But when people who are not, in my viewpoint, enlightened, not enlightenment doesn't mean you've not gone to university, or who don't understand how the world operates. I don't even want to say who don't understand how business, because it might be a certain business person, but don't know how to live with people. And so that business is not built to last. So the way, just be simple with your people, compete outside, not with your people. Keep it simple, respect them, they respect you. People veer off, you bring them back, of course, immediately. And they know what you stand for, they know what you can. So when we were in Standard Trust Bank, most of the people that we started with, my age mate or slightly older and a few jobs below. But it did not stop us from being disciplined. It did not stop at all from being, because everyone knew we go to parties. We can go to party on Saturday, Friday. On Monday, if you fall out of line, you're disciplined. So discipline, therefore, is critical in running a successful business. So on people, I like to say culture, hard work, discipline, sharing the vision, and you, the leader, working the talk. Those are things that have helped us to succeed. So I'm not just theorizing, telling you for textbook. This is what we did that helped us to succeed. We were friends working amongst us together, and we respected one another, but we also knew boundaries that we couldn't cross. And so that helped. What else helped us? There was a mistake we made when we started. But you, the way you sound, you won't make that mistake. So when we started, we were publicity shy. We did not tell the world where we're coming from, our past, our pedigree, what we wanted to achieve. And we felt that our achievements should speak for us. But we're wrong. And we all know better than I do today, and I know more now, that you have to tell your story. If you don't tell your story, others will tell your story by themselves, the way they like it, nuances, the way they want, etc. And the story, if you hear and see the story, you might be shocked that it is false. So that's what we did. And then they called us cowboy bankers, etc. And we learned the bitter way and we corrected very well. And that's why today we know how to tell our story. So tell your story, like what you say you want to do, what you're doing. Share the story. This is who we are. This is where we're coming from. This is what we want to do. And it becomes a social contract that you have. And so if you deviate, let people also hold you accountable. But this is who you are. This is what you do, etc. So I think that also helps us. But then, of course, for you all entrepreneurs, people who are starting at this level, you need to keep governance. If I call it building to last, and what it takes to build to last. Governance is extremely important. And governance for you, I don't want you to go and get a huge boss size to stand. No. Governance, just doing things the right way. Documenting things, doing things the right way, and improving on things, learning from your experiences, mistakes, and say, okay, next time, beginning of the year, what was that, what we want to do. We said we did last year, things we need to correct, how we do things better. So just be doing it that way, have proper record of your transactions, like account. Just even if it's just you alone, one man business, just do it that way. And what I say, I learned from my dad, if you earn $1 or a naira and you don't save, if you earn 1 billion, you will not save. And so, and in the age we live in now, age of not even presentation, but age of, we do things, we live in an audio world. So at times we do things to please others, So we need to be disciplined, and just say, in economics, consumption, there is savings leads to investment. You have to save to be able to invest. Capital formation is critical for what you do in business. So most people don't know where to draw the line. So you want a business, you want to go for a wedding, want to sew something for a wedding, go to that day, take the money to sew. You want to buy this, discipline yourself. Put yourself on the salary. Put yourself on the salary. Discipline yourself. Approve that salary. Even if you make more money, just say this business, this is what I'm earning for this, and try to reinvest. Try to reinvest. Just keep your mind, just say long term. I'm thinking long term, not just today. That is how you build capital. That's how you make investment. And then you wait for the return on your investment to be what you spend, and not to spend the capital that you want to invest or should be investing. So that is a major point. So I would say that people, another part of this I talked about, people, hard work, discipline, professionalism, culture, and I say defining your journey, making sure that there's buy-in, the people you assemble understand the destination, setting milestones, etc. And then knowing that in business there's resilience, there's tenacity, that the journey is not often straightforward, or linear, just you move from A to B. Generally say first year, then it's not. You also encounter obstacles, but you need to keep at the back of your mind, as we did in our time, that ultimately, the journey is not going to be so straightforward, but you need to be resilient, you need to have the staying power, you need to have the discipline, the staying power, and know that when those shocks come, they say tough times don't last. They will come in business. Some are from your own internal weaknesses, or some could be externally induced. We had SARS in Nigeria before, we had COVID, we have so many things. Imagine entrepreneurs in Ukraine at this point in time, what they're going through. So there are things within your control, there are things outside your control. So build this into your planning horizon, your plan, and know that these things will come, but that when they come, you will be resilient and tough to withstand it. And one of the ways you do this, I recall when we were Standard Trust at the point in time, we did not declare dividend for so many years when we started. It's as if we knew that consolidation would come. And that's why when it came, we were ready for it, because we were saving. Even though we were making money, we were reinvesting. We were investing in technology, we were investing in so many branch networks. We grew addressing our brand network. We were doing things, and dividend we were just capitalizing, waiting. We didn't know, but we just knew that we wanted to do great things. And so to build capital. So in your business, build goodwill, build capital, build strong brand equity, so that when the shocks come, you don't know where, the world we live in, we don't control these shocks. So when they come, it will definitely come in business. Then when it comes, you should be ready to some extent to withstand it. When they announced consolidation in Nigeria, we were a bank that started from nowhere, negative. We were super ready for it because it concerned our equity. So those are the things I think the rest you see in the theory. So I will answer almost everyone. So, but let's take number actually. Let me give number to give number. How do we do this? Okay, number 1, 2, 3, 4. What's in your company? Sorry. I thought you raised your hand. 8, 9. I think I counted 10, 11. So 11 this way. 11 this way. Let's come this way. 1. Can you check? Please have this. Let another person take care of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'll try 17. I'll try and make it short. Then online. There are a lot of people online too that want to ask questions. So who is monitoring online? Who is monitoring online? So can you get the online? We'll also give them a opportunity. Okay, so let's start. Number 1. But make your can cover.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I'm really happy today. First of all, I want to commend your personal brand. I think your team is doing a great job. Your personal brand is very authentic and relatable. And then secondly, I noticed that leadership in all the businesses and things that you heard are filled with women, and I think it's something I really admire. So I commend you for that. Okay, so
And at home, I have 5 daughters.
so you're a girl dad everywhere. It spans across.
Plus my wife,
Yes.
plus my mom, plus her, plus her daughter. So,
It's something I really admire because I come from a family of 7 women as well. So it's, yeah. I work in content marketing for tech, and I'm also a business coach and career coach for persons living with sickle cell. So personally, I started the journey to building my career in the non-profit sector, but that didn't work out for me because I have sickle cell. So working in full-time employment is sort of like a limitation for me. Working 8 hours a day isn't physically sustainable for persons living with sickle cell. So I started freelancing, I started building my business, consulting, and it sure worked out for me. And I started helping other people with sickle cell do that. So presently, I'm curating like a directory of companies and businesses that offer remote or flexible work opportunities for people like that, because I noticed that thousands of people, I did a research and the numbers were crazy. Thousands of people living with sickle cell in Nigeria are either always fired from their jobs because their health isn't just, it doesn't work out for them, or they start a business and they don't have the knowledge to build their business or whatever. So I have been helping persons with sickle cell do that. So I want to ask if UBA or S Holding has options for people that have chronic illnesses in such a way that maybe they can work from home or they have like flexible work hours, so I can add to my directory for the people that If it's not, is it something you'll be willing to consider? Thank you very much.
I think you just said it all. First is you're doing very well. I wish you continued success in what you do. You have the right spirit. And even listening to you was quite arresting. I listened to everything you said. And it's strong too. So it is the HR director organization. They listen to what you said and you come overseas like them. The life is already in any place. So the point to this is important. You do it and then see how we do going forward. However, COVID has taught us a big lesson that the things we live in the virtual world actually today. So working from outside is not such a big issue. So good luck with your endeavors and thank for what you do.
Hello, sir. Hello, everyone. My name is Timmy Edwin. It's funny how Precious started. She lives with sickle cell. I also live with sickle cell. I'm almost 35. The reason why I said this is I run an NGO called Crimson for Sickle Cell Initiative. We reach out to those who are affected.
I can't control you, start again. Is it by coincidence?
It's purely coincidental.
And look at your colors. Look at your colors stand out.
Okay, so we reach out to people affected by the sickle cell condition. We are slightly different from Precious because we have a clinic we run. We also create do outreaches, telling people about genotype compatibility. We take genotype tests from community to community. Recently, I got the attention of the government. I made some requests. We had around the federal government, state government, and one of the things that we got was free health, medical insurance for people living with sickle cell, because it's extremely difficult. But my question now is, you are the founder of the Good Meal Foundation. You made entrepreneurship popular. Funding of entrepreneurs popular. One of the things that I find as challenging is that people don't really want to identify with sickle cell. Corporate bodies and the like, because it's not popular. It's not a very popular ailment. But my question now is, how do we continue get funding for people living with sickle cell to continue our projects? Thank you, sir.
Well done. I think funding is there are 2 sources. First is government, and 2 is like the development world. people or what people NGO even say now support people who have on this sector. So I believe all of us should increase our advocacy, and you are doing so, and your neighbor is doing so, and give more voices. We need to increase, because some of us, in fact, we're just lucky, some of us have that, because it's not as if our parents did this screening. Nothing, they didn't do this screening. So we need to draw the world's attention to this, and I'm happy that great minds like yourself, two of you, are helping good direction. For us as a foundation, we kind of believe that there's so much to do, a whole lot to do, and it just we need to prioritize, and so this is what we want to focus on. But let's add our importance to the advocacy, the attention, the awareness. There are other areas also like this area that needs attention. So it's collectively talking and drawing people's attention in what you're doing, the outreach program you're doing, you're getting to do the genotype test is very, very good, but you need money to continue. So we notice at times, because of the way our foundation operates, there are people who talk to us. They're interested in dealing with malnutrition in the world in Nigeria, they're interested in healthcare support in different areas. We note this and we'll try and see how we can channel more people, put attention to this area. And knowing you all too is very important, so we know who can point them to. So I guess we have a directory of our contacts and what we do. Anyway, this is going to be our own community. We'll make sure it's going to be, released forever. So number 3.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Ogechi Lucy Akedu, the CEO of Olusi Brands. What we do with Olusi Brands is we do events, management, makeup, ushering, modeling, pageantry, and then the other thing I do, I was born and brought up in Ajegule. I still live in Ajegule, so I'm the founder.
Wait, Daddy, show.
I'm the founder of Face of Ajegule Beauty Pageant. Thank you very much, sir. So,
the world is changing, the trying to change it. They're all very interesting. Go on.
Thank you, sir. So what we do at Face of Ajegule is more than just a beauty pageant. I never wanted to be a beauty queen, or I wanted to be an actress. But when I got into the university in my first year, someone walked up to me and said I could contest for this campus that was happening around that time. And fortunately, I won. That was in 2007. So I started thinking along that line that this thing can be done also in Ajegule where I grew up, because there's a whole lot of stories in Ajegule. So beyond the catwalking and other things, it's like an institution where we train and groom young girls to become their better selves. We train them for 3 months straight before the grand finale. They learn leadership and etiquette, business training, speech and grammar, they learn makeup, they learn decoration, they learn a whole lot. Yes. They learn event planning, they learn how to make Ankara bags and accessories, they learn a whole lot of things, so that after the event, whether you're a winner or not, you already have something to take back home. My question now is, I do so many things. Like some people in my area call me Mama Gobonishi. So, yeah. So, but I think I'm a master of because I also know how to sell it, like merge what I'm doing with Face of Ajegule and what I'm doing with Olusi Brands. Because when I walk into a place, I have to introduce myself as this and explain, and then I want to know what's better way to, if there's a way I could merge and it could define everything I do. Thank you very much.
Well, what you do is gentle beauty, lifestyle
yeah.
to some extent.
Yes.
So, by the way, to start with, sorry, See that?
Sorry, thank you, sir.
So I think it's a good problem that you have. There are some bad problems. Your problem is that you're doing well in almost everything you're doing. Okay. And you want to see one big word or adjective or one descriptor that captures everything that you do, right? I think we need a consultant. Claudine, yeah, she's a marketing consultant. We need a consultant to know how to handle that. But what I would do is to do generically and broadly in that area, and just because it's you're into some can say it's entertainment, some can say it's lifestyle, some can say. So you need to work with a consultant to decide how to bring it all together. What as I said, it's a good problem to have that you pursue. But I thought you were going to ask that you need to specialize in the next level. And also, being better focused and help when you're starting out. Starting out, you see what I said, like, I wanted to become Africa's global bank. And you can't become Africa's global bank at GBA if you didn't have presence in key financial centers of the world, in London, in New York. So it was important to us, but we did not just be one, become everything. There were good times with milestones. Okay, this, okay, we take it this way. However, there are some tangential businesses that come up. I just said to you're doing this other one, part of it, you do it, it can help you get to this. So maybe key thing is to define the purpose, your business purpose. Maybe it's key thing to define business purpose. And then, in business, I was trying to say that the trade-off is critical, it's important. Because and they teach us in economics, what we want is goodness. But the resources to achieve what we want is limited. So we are forced to prioritize. That's how the scale of preference comes up. We prioritize this world of preference. So you cannot say to yourself, ultimately, I want to be what is this opera of Africa, for instance. You can say I want to be opera of Africa. But that journey, I want to start like this: step 1, step 2, step 3, and then you can let certain things not distract you, and just focus. And then, so when you decide to focus and let certain things go, so it's called trade-off. You traded certain things off to stay focused on your purpose. That can help you to go far. So you may also consider that. Then if you decide to do that, the next question becomes, I've already started all of this. How do I now stop this and focus? You stop. Because at times you don't even know the one that becomes usually successful at the end of the day. So it's to stay, like this kind of session we're having, but there's a limit to what can happen and that from you. I say, this to you, discipline is about, the discipline your thought process. I say, okay, this one might take me there, I want to. Then you decide, do I sell off? Do I partner with others and let them take and convert what I have there to equity and this and that? So you focus. At times, we have sold, okay, and we just, insurance business. I don't know. She is another case. She's the CEO of Health Insurance. Okay? So before we got the license for Health Insurance, we waited for this guy for 6 to 8 years. But there was a time in the past we sold an insurance business. We had an insurance we sold. But later, because we thought we needed to focus. We needed no distraction, they just stayed focused. And we stayed focused. And when we got to the level where we had gone far in our business line, it's okay, it's time to do insurance. And for 1 year to buy insurance. Then I'm going to get a license. I took about 8 years. So I just shared that with you. At times, you can exercise, cut off certain things to stay focused. But if you do well in all, then no problem. Then what you need to do is to replicate yourself in others so they can help you do well in those businesses. Because you can't do everything yourself. So sitting there, I told you I was in London, I left last night, and but the business runs. Because we have people giving what they need to work from time to time. Then you see that we finish session in Abuja, 4-day session being like a refresh. We just finished the other HH companies also was in Abuja was a refresh. We don't left that. That kind of session is also that we're trying to touch base, making sure that those values are important or we're emphasizing so that when we leave, people have energy and that software to operate again for like 1 year, 2 years, we replenish and all that. So if you have the people, right DNA, right culture to carry on, fine. But it's your call ultimately. Okay? Well done. Okay.
Thank you very much.
This is off, right? It's not purple.
I think power went up, but I can hear the investment.
Okay, it's coming back. Okay. Gone. Okay. Access to electricity. Really? Yeah, go on, please.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. I feel a bit like a fish out of the water.
Why? They use your microphone.
Young
Huh?
people, lots of young people in disappointment.
But it's in your mind.
Yeah, actually, when I got the nomination, I was shocked. But first of all, I didn't pay attention to it, and I saw it was only 2 people who nominated me, and I got it. So I felt yes. And when I looked at what people were doing, young people were doing, I was amazed to be among the 15 people, the first 15. And I looked at what I was doing. So what am I doing?
So your name or you?
My name is Moyan Wenke. Moyan Wenke. And I run Cerebral Palsy Center.
Cerebral
Palsy Center. I'm sure a few of us are going down.
This is very popular.
No, well, I don't know, but my daughter is 15 years. She has cerebral palsy, and it's because of her I started what I'm doing. So creating of if you can't find what you're looking for, you create it. So when my daughter was diagnosed at 5 months, I was running a business, doing very well, went fast food. Those days had new branches, but to run a business, even to hold up a career with a child with severe disability, is something you don't want to think about. And I saw mothers all over. They couldn't hold on their careers because there was nowhere to take their child to have a near normal life. Cerebral palsy, you have to go for therapy at least 3 times a week. That's what the doctors recommend. Now tell me, how can you do that? I know some professionals who either they quit their jobs or they take their child to their mother in the village, and then shortly after the child dies. And then we turn down on those ones too, who will say lock up their children. Because daycare centers, my personal experience, no daycare center agreed to take my daughter. Yes, understandably, she probably doesn't know what to do with the child. And then her reason was that other mothers will withdraw their children. Basically, the eyes do not like the ugly. Children with cerebral palsy are not the best to look at. Distortions, drooling, and everything. So what did I do? I was angry. Angry at the society. My question to you will come later. Angry at the government. Angry at parents who had children before me. Back then, 15 years ago, internet was not what it was today. But I had the privilege of having a wireless. So I was able to Google, and immediately I saw cerebral palsy. My daughter actually is adopted. So I had, they asked me to bring her back so they can give me another baby. Don't bank with UBS, come back with Dennis, it's not the same thing. So I didn't take that option. But then, looking back in retrospect, I'm like, if I knew it is a name, maybe I would have, returned the child. But thank God, 15 years down the line, we've been able to build the first cerebral palsy in Africa. Yes, I can say that.
Wow.
Yes, first, yeah. First. And we didn't get any support from any corporate body because they don't like disability. So what is UBA doing for disability? I actually know somebody, a staff, who had to leave her job because of her child. I had to help her take care of this child for a while before she relocated. She had the privilege of going abroad, which is what a lot of people do. So most corporate organizations don't like, they like spelling bees, the one you are shining, that kind of a thing. But with disability, it's like pouring water in a basket. That's what it is, I must tell you the truth. But then, for those of us who believe in God, and I want to believe most people here do that, either Muslim or Christian, we believe that everybody is made in the image of God. And when God multiplied 5 loaves and 2 fishes, there were leftovers. And he called those whom he loved to pick up the leftovers. Nobody loves the leftovers. But he made them put them in beautiful baskets. Say nothing should waste. So I believe that of people with disability are like those leftovers. And that those who are called to take care of them are those who God loves. And we must support them. But the corporate organizations don't. They like to bring rice and beans, Indomie, all those things. They want to give it. So that way you can't retain your staff. You can't pay your staff very well. And you don't even have good structure to keep them. It took me like 6 years to buy land, 30 million. You know what it means to religiously save 30 million? What I do is free. I bring it for 200. I don't charge anybody any money. Because how much can you really pay me? Just look. Because it's a 2-4-7 job. For instance, my daughter, for me to come here, it was like traveling. I had to pack my bag, go to people help me look after her, Because 2 people have to lift her now. So at every point, she needs 3 people. So that's how expensive it is, apart from the medication. So what is UBA doing? Is it kind of something? They should do something for disability, not just cerebral palsy.
Thank you. So first is, I want to commend you for what you're doing, and may God bless your work and give you the reward that you deserve. Well done. Thank you. So on the question you raised, I want to say 2 things. First is, you were not born to take on this course. It happened circumstantially. You adopted your daughter, and then this happened, and you just decided to go. I think at times, the corporate world is not as inhuman as people think. You, a human being, did not start this. Something made you start it. So that we're discussing here today, and you, in fact, the sickle cell conversation, very interesting. The question asked, what I said we noted, we'll see. And some I said advocacy, we need to try to get the attention of the world to this area. And so there's a lot of you do by what even government is doing more now, making certain policies being put in place on this. Like when I was CEO of the bank, we didn't really Standard Trust Bank so many years ago. Standard Trust was, in fact, Standard Trust was very 2005. But then we didn't have like the social disability part to the banking hall to this and that. But today, I know UBA has it. Most of this branch, almost all. Now, when you design a branch, one of the first things I see there is disability, what do you call it? Ramp, disability ramp. So it's a major improvement for what it used to be. I think what is happening, and also you have corporations choosing different things, like the SODs group, the Tony Learning Foundation is the platform we use for our humanity intervention, because we believe it is. And so what we think we will do is, even sitting here, even though directly yet we're not giving money to like this committee money to this, of course, or even discussing here, creating this platform and letting the world know about it, because the world is watching this conversation here is a step also. So most times it is what I like us to do, and I said it a lot. So at the foundation, we spend a lot of money. Last 2021, we spent over $25 million to empower young Africa. $25 million to empower young Africa. And that's why, 5,000 beneficiaries, $5,000 each, clearly $25 million, excluding the administrative audit, the building, the audit, so many things, training, plan, etc. We do that because it's